Hello everybody, welcome to Tiger Tales, a place where you'll find fan fiction written and read to you by me, your host, Tai Tiger, in many different fictions. So, we are back with Power Rangers Future Foundation. This is a little later than usual. I usually have this on a Monday to Tuesday, but I was on holiday for a couple of days and it got pushed, so I apologise. But anywho, let's dive into Power Rangers Future Foundations. In the last episode, we met two new characters, Logan and Amy. And we met Lucicon, our big bad. Let's see what happens to our new team, and if Lucicon's got any more devious actions to meddle with the Rangers. Let's dive in to Power Rangers Future Foundation, Chapter 10, Yellow Ranger with Rhythm. Had been several days since the Rangers took their beating from Lucicon. Dante was training in the dojo. In the apartment above, Lucas and CJ were chatting at CJ's desk, and Chloe was in one of the bedrooms, alone. Chloe opened her laptop, signed in, and she checked the tour guide for her mother's tour. 4 weeks left, and then I am so screwed, Chloe huffed. Chloe closed her laptop, threw on her shoes, and then stormed out. She headed downstairs where Dante was kicking a training dummy. I'm going out, Chloe snapped. Okay. Call in if anything happens or you need us, Dante called out as Chloe left. Chloe headed into town and walked around the shops. She bought a coffee and sipped it as she window shopped. She stopped suddenly when she heard a song she remembered. It was her mother singing. It was a song that she wrote for her mother. Chloe would never admit this to anyone, but she enjoyed writing music. She never had tried singing before. She was too embarrassed to do that, but she did enjoy writing songs. And her mind went wild as she was listening to her own song being played by her mother. She was singing her song on tour. She could see two people watching music videos on a tablet. And that song was written by my beautiful daughter, and I dedicate it to her every time I do this performance, her mother said. Chloe grinned. Thanks, Mum, she whispered to herself. Chloe then left with a big smile. She stopped at a busker who was playing a saxophone. The sweet melody of jazz filled the air. Chloe stood there and watched when suddenly a man stood next to her. Gotta love that sweet tune, huh? The man said. Chloe just nodded in agreement. Shame everything good has to come to an end, huh? The man said. Chloe turned to the man and saw it was Service. Holding the black skeleton flintlock pistol, Chloe's eyes widened. Service, she whispered. Glad acknowledgement is one of your strong suits, Service grinned. He then held the black bone pistol to his lips. Let the channel of fear form. Let the monster of my creation be born, Service whispered into the pistol. He then took aim and shot an energy blast at the man's saxophone. Suddenly the man dropped the saxophone and it started mutating. Suddenly a monster stood in front of Chloe. The monster was big and bulky. It had a horn in the shape of the mouthpiece of a saxophone. Its chest resembled the bell of a saxophone, and down its legs and arms were key-like pieces from a saxophone. Meet Saxageddon, Service grinned. He then teleported away. Chloe stood in front of the monster as everyone else started running away screaming. God damn it, Chloe muttered. Let's boogie, the monster known as Saxageddon yelled, and suddenly a horrible out-of-tune jazz noise came from the bell-shaped chest of the monster. The sound wave was so powerful that it threw Chloe backwards. Chloe landed hard on the ground and grunted as she hit her communicator. CJ, I need the boys, Chloe snapped. Chloe then climbed to her feet. She revealed her Dino Gem bracelet, and in a flash it turned to her Dino Morpher. She opened the mouthpiece and pressed the button. Dino Thunder, power up! Ha! Chloe yelled, and in a flash she morphed. Yellow Dino Thunder Ranger, she called out. Let's bring more dancers to the dance floor, Saxageddon called out when suddenly an army of putties appeared. The Yellow Ranger dived at Saxageddon and threw her fist in its chest, and then once again. The monster stumbled backwards. Then Saxageddon threw out his arm and a massive sound wave exploded from its saxophone bell chest. The sound wave hit the Yellow Ranger and sparks flew off of her as she was thrown off her feet. Saxageddon took a few steps forward, advancing on the Yellow Ranger, when suddenly a Blue Ranger rolled between them and stood there with both his sabers. Step back, boogie freak, the Blue Ranger called out. The Black Ranger appeared next to the Yellow Ranger and pulled her to her feet. You okay? The Black Ranger asked. Thanks, Dante, the Yellow Ranger replied. The Blue Ranger kicked two putties, then swung his Chrono Sabers at Saxageddon, slashing down across the monster's chest. The other two Rangers dived into the fight. The Black Ranger summoned his axe and started swinging his axe, slashing down some putties as the Yellow Ranger dived kicked Saxageddon, making the monster stumble backwards. I've had enough for now, Saxageddon growled. Then a big deep hum noise came from Saxageddon, and all the Rangers froze as their bodies vibrated. All 3 Rangers tried to move, but the impact of the sound froze their muscles into place. Then the humming stopped and explosions erupted off the Rangers, causing them instant damage. Later, loser Rangers, Saxageddon called out, and then the Saxageddon and Putties all teleported away. Damn it! Chloe muttered as the 3 Rangers demorphed. You okay? Luke asked. Yeah, I guess, Chloe replied. Then all 3 Rangers teleported away and back to the dojo. Later that day, so that pistol now has 2 properties, making monsters and it can make them grow, CJ said as she started typing. Yo, CJ, what are you doing? Luke asked. Well, Adam had all these folders of Power Rangers. You know, folders of monsters, Rangers, Zords, that sort of stuff, etc, etc. Me and Dante thought it would be a good idea to keep them updated, CJ told them. Fair play, girl. That's kinda cool, Luca grinned. CJ grinned back. Suddenly, an alert appeared on the screen. CJ pushed a few keys on her keyboard, and the camera feed appeared showing Saxageddon in a car park terrorizing store customers. Looks like it's time for action, Dante said. Time to cut the music, Chloe muttered. What? Luca said. Sorry, bad pun, Chloe said, and then all 3 Rangers teleported away.
Hey there, podcast listener. You enjoying what you're listening to? Well then, do I got a special treat for you. Story time with Cosplay Dude 637. That's me. I'm your host, and I like to tell you stories. Stories that I personally enjoy. So, buckle up, get comfortable, because we're going on a wild ride.
The 3 Rangers teleported into the car park, stood there ready. It's morphin' time, Dante called out. He had out his morpher. Mastodon, he called. Chloe opened the mouthpiece of her morpher and pressed the button. Dino Thunder, power up, ha! Chloe called out. Luca pressed his Chrono Morpher. Time Force, Luca called out. Then in a flash, the 3 Rangers stood there. They all dropped into their fighting stances. I think it's time for a little dance, Saxageddon called out, and suddenly high-pitched jazz music came from Saxageddon, and everyone in the parking lot started dancing, including the running civilians. They all started dancing terrible dances. What the hell is this? The Blue Ranger asked as he tried to stop dancing to the jazz tune. It's Saxageddon, I think. He's making us dance, the Black Ranger called out as he started doing the Cabbage Patch. These dance moves are so lame, the Yellow Ranger muttered. Suddenly, a girl with pigtails, with denim shorts and a denim jacket, a small backpack, wearing a necklace made of glow sticks, came gliding across the floor in her Heeley trainers, came rolling in. That's when the Rangers noticed she was wearing headphones. The girl stood there, all confused. It's Amy, the Black Ranger said. She's wearing headphones, she can't hear the jazz music, the Yellow Ranger commented. Amy stood there and shook her head. She revealed her Astro Morpher. Gotta save your butts again, huh? Let's rock it, yo, Amy called out. She flipped open the morpher and pressed the button. 3, 3, 5, the morpher said. Then in a flash, Amy was morphed. In space, Pink Ranger, the Ranger called out. The Pink Ranger ran at Saxageddon and kicked him in the chest, then punched it twice. Suddenly the music stopped and everyone stopped dancing. Thanks, Amy, the other Ranger called out. The Pink Ranger tapped the side of her helmet. No problem. Sorry, I had my music on. Kinda gathered that was the source of his power, since he kinda looks like a saxophone, the Pink Ranger told them. Suddenly Saxageddon threw the Blue Ranger at his team. Time to boogie again, Saxageddon roared. Suddenly everyone started dancing again, and this time including the Pink Ranger. God damn, this is so embarrassing, the Pink Ranger muttered. Wait, Amy, turn your music back on, the Black Ranger grunted as he dropped to the floor, spinning his legs round in a circle. But that only helps me, the Pink Ranger replied. Just do it, the Blue Ranger snapped. Okay, jeez, the Pink Ranger moaned. Then she managed to tap the side of her helmet in mid-dance move. The Black Ranger, in mid-dance move, managed to reach to his wrist and click his communicator. Yo, CJ, broadcast whatever is coming out of Amy's phone to our communicators. Turn them all on, the Black Ranger told her. Give me 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, and done, CJ said. And suddenly all 4 Rangers stopped dancing, and the Yellow Ranger grinned secretly as she knew the heartfelt melody. This is my mother's song, the Yellow Ranger muttered. Your mother is Kira Ford, the Pink Ranger gasped. Yeah, the Yellow Ranger said. Oh my god, that is so awesome, the Pink Ranger squealed. Damn you Rangers, at least I still got some dancers, Saxageddon screeched, and suddenly Putties teleported in. You 2 lads handle the Putties. Me and Amy can handle the out-of-tune waste of jazz, the Yellow Ranger chirped. Sounds good to me, the Black Ranger nodded. The song replayed and started from the beginning. The Yellow Ranger grinned to herself as she punched Saxageddon, and then the Pink Ranger swiped her foot under the monster, tripping over. As it landed, the Pink Ranger flipped over the monster, pulling the trigger on her satellite stunner, raining rings down onto Saxageddon and causing him damage. Then he stood up, the Yellow Ranger came flying in, shoving him back onto the ground and dragging him across the concrete floor as she glided. Then as she let go, dropping Saxageddon on the floor, the Pink Ranger pulled the trigger again, the energy of rings exploding off of Saxageddon. The Yellow Ranger then flew up in the air as high as she could, and then dropped all the way back down. In mid-drop, she summoned her Patera grips. As she hit the floor, she slashed down Saxageddon. The monster then took one step back and fell backwards. As he hit the floor, he exploded. "That was awesome," the Pink Ranger yelled. The Blue and Black Ranger made easy work of the putties, and the civilians stopped dancing and started running away. The 4 Rangers grouped up. "Nice work," the Blue Ranger said. Suddenly, Service teleported in. "There is still time for one final performance, I guess," Service growled. He then held his pistol to his lips once more. "For those who have fallen, give those a second chance," Service whispered. He then aimed up high and pulled the trigger. A small red energy bolt flew up in the sky and exploded into Saxageddon, but this time he was giant. "Great, not this again," the Pink Ranger muttered. Suddenly, a tune filled the air. The man with sandy brown poncho, hood up, playing the black knife flute with 3 sapphire crystals in it, stood there standing on the store roof. "It's Logan," the Black Ranger muttered. Then, all of a sudden, 3 massive robotic animals came running out of the clouds. One of them was the White Tiger Wild Zord. Another was the Hammerhead Wild Zord. Then the biggest one was the Alligator Wild Zord. 3 Zords landed on the ground. "Wild Zords, combine," Logan called out, as the alligator's back legs extended in, becoming humanoid, whilst the front legs folded back. The Tiger Zord's legs folded into itself, the Hammerhead's body extended, and the tail detached. The 3 combined as the Zords became the arms. The alligator head folded down, revealing a face. The Megazord stood there in front of Saxageddon. Logan jumped up and entered the Megazord. He placed the knife into the cockpit. "Time to dance," Saxageddon called out. "Don't think so," Logan muttered. The Megazord threw its tiger fist and punched Saxageddon. Then it swung the uppercutting him with the hammerhead, and then slashed down with the hammerhead, slashing the monster with its fist. "Time to end this," Logan growled. Then the Megazord stood there. All 3 animal mouths opened. "Final attack," Logan called out. Then the 3 mouths unleashed a devastating blast. All 3 blasts hit Saxageddon. Then Saxageddon fell backwards and exploded, leaving nothing but smoke. Logan jumped out of the Megazord, and the 3 Zords disappeared. Logan landed in front of the Rangers. "Hey Logan, thank you," the Black Ranger called out. "I told you I'd always be here when you needed me," the Logan said. Logan then turned around and walked away. The 4 Rangers demorphed. "Thanks, Amy. Without you, I don't even think we'd be here," Dante said. "Hey, no problem. Look, I gotta go," Amy said. She pretended to tip her hat, pulled up her headphones, and then she took a few steps before rolling on her heels. "She's a cool kid," Luca said. The 3 Rangers then teleported away. Later that night, Chloe sat there with an email. The email had an attachment. It was a written document. Then Chloe hit the audio recording button. "Hey, I hope you're okay. Sorry I haven't gotten back to you in a couple of weeks. Things have been a bit crazy my end. I'm at Dante's at the moment, staying with him, 'cause things have... Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Mom, things have gone bad. The Rangers, previous Rangers, they're gone. Adam's missing. They came after the Dino Gems. Dad warned me, but they arrived and attacked me. I became a Power Ranger. I am a Power Ranger. I'm the Yellow Dino Thunder Ranger. The Morphing Masters picked me. And I have a team. It's a bit mixed matched, but it's a team. I wanted to let you know that I'm okay too. I'm doing something for myself, but I also have something for you. The written document is another song. I heard you play the one that I wrote a little while back, and you have no idea how much that means to me. So, I made a second one for you. You don't have to play it or anything, but at least give it a listen. Anyway, sorry for doing this over voice message. With communication, it's been kind of hard with your time differences and signal and everything being hectic my end. Anyway, I'm safe, and I love you. Please be safe, okay? Please watch your back out there. There are new threats, and they've already gone after other Rangers, and I don't know whether they'll come after you. You have an amazing couple of last weeks of your tour, okay? And I'll see you in a month, Chloe said. Then she clicked the send button and sent the email to her mother. Chloe sat there and looked at her dino gem on her wrist. She smiled. For the first time since she got to Dante's, and this time it was a real smile. In the land of that time and space, William sat there in front of the chessboard. He placed the yellow base white piece one step forward. He then removed one of the black pieces off the chessboard. Master, Luticon is running out of monster energy. He will no longer be able to make monsters, the ranger stated. It's fine. His first reset is soon. Once he resets, more energy to make monsters will be available to him, William told him. Understood, sir, the ranger said to him. William stood and walked over to one of his tables. He picked up a big gauntlet and plugged it in to a few wires. Suddenly a holographic screen appeared, revealing a robot head. Hello, sir. I see you've fixed my physical establishment, the android said. Hello, Alpha Prime. Good to see you again, my friend, William grinned. Yes, it is. Would you like me to proceed in the update that was paused due to my power shortage, sir? Alpha Prime said. Yes, please, William said with a grin. The robot head hologram disappeared and a process bar came up with 52% above it. It will take some time, sir, Alpha Prime said. No worries, Alpha, William said. He then pulled out a screwdriver from the drawer and started tinkering with Alpha Prime's gauntlet. And there you have it, guys. Chapter 10. I hope you guys enjoyed. Look out for more Power Rangers, Future Foundation. Just want to use this time to quickly say, check out Zero to Hero, go check out Baker Rangers Movie Talks, go check out Cosplay 2637's, Nerd Through Comics by the Red Cornish Ranger. They all found on Spotify and places you can find podcasts. They all delve into nerd stuff, very heavily on Power Rangers as well, and they're all awesome people, so go check them out. And subscribe to this, and I shall see you guys very, very soon.